Whoa, it's me from the future. Come to tell you some advice about these carburetors I've now experienced because I have used one. So this is my advice on the fake carburetors. A few tips for you here and there. Number one, get yourself a set of these metering rods from AliExpress or wherever you get your carbs from. They are now available. You get a set of 10. They're about 15 quid as opposed to Lectron's 50 plus quid each. These are 15 quid. They are marked on here. You can maybe just about see it. They are marked on here. So they're not the same as Lectron's markings, their specifications, they're 4 to 2s and 3 to 1s, etc. But you have some reference basically to what you're putting in there if you do need to make it richer or leaner. Second bit of advice. Float bowl gaskets on the fake carburetors do not like petrol. Same for the choke plungers. They will swell up if they touch petrol, which obviously is not ideal because they're going to touch petrol. So my advice, you get a spare float bowl gasket with most of these carburetors, and if not, you get them in the needle kit as well. That probably means they know that they don't like petrol and they swell up. When they're fitted to the carburetors, they're fine, but when you remove the float bowl, just check the float heights, which I suggest you do as well, because the fake carbs do come with a slightly higher float level than what you want. Mine did anyway. So you're going to want to check the float heights. Choke plungers, this is what happens. They swell up, and then the rubber can come off. That gets stuck in the hole for the choke, if you like. So although your choke is actuating as normal, you're actually not pulling up the rubber, which causes many inconsistencies in fueling, as I found out. So get a genuine Lectron choke plunger. They are about 40 quid, but these do not work. So get a genuine Lectron choke plunger, £40. I dare say the genuine float bowl gaskets fit in the fake carbs as well, so you could do that, but like I said, just use the spare and let them dry out so they shrink back in, because you probably won't get it back in the float bowl when you put the carb back together. Oh yeah, last thing, it's hard to see, but this hole in here where the metering rod runs into, on the fake carbs, it is slightly larger, and I'm talking maybe 0.1 of a millimeter larger on the fake carbs than what it is on the genuine carbs. This caused a difficult idle issue on my bike. I couldn't get the bike to idle properly because it was too rich on the lower end. Even when I put the biggest metering rod in, it was still too rich. Now, that could be my bike. I am going to check the reeds. I'm going to check the reeds because they could be faulty, not sealing properly and creating a rich atmosphere at idle, which is then sort of bypassing the metering rod, or, you know, not giving me true sense. So yeah, there's a couple of tips. I advise you do them. You'll find out for yourself if not, especially about the rubber parts. Get a genuine one of these and be ready to put a spare one of them in. Anything else that I can think of? No, check your float heights. I think I said that. Get one of these boxes, needles, 15 quid. I think that's about it. Other than that, enjoy the video. It's not that interesting unless you're into this type of stuff. But I am, and it's good advice for someone if you plan to use them. Other than that, the carburetors do work. They do work. I've had it running, and they run just as well as the genuine ones, in my opinion, once you have them set up properly. However, there's a lot more setting up with these carburetors. So if you're into tinkering about with your bikes, go for it. Buy one and do what I said, get these bits. If you're not into tinkering with your bikes and you just want to bolt a carb on and go, don't waste your money on the Chinese ones, because they do need playing about with to work properly, where the genuine ones, that's what you spend the money for. You buy them and they work. So yeah, there's my advice. Enjoy the video. Real Lectron H Series 38mm. It's about 4 years old now. And this is the fake carb from AliExpress. Again, 38mm. Initial impressions, pretty similar. This is a good copy. They've even got the patent number on there now, which is a new thing. I think it's not exactly the same. There's a badge missing there. There's not markings on there. There's a badge at the top missing as well. But casting wise, they look fairly similar. Going to keep the talking to a minimum and take them apart. We'll do the genuine one first. The difference here, there you've got flathead screws. The genuine ones have got flathead screws, where the copies use Allen keys as well, which is fine. Easier maybe. What is slightly different about these is that the float bowl here, there's no hook on the needle to hook over it. So it purely relies on gravity to decide when the, when the fuel stops from the needle. There's no hook on there. So yeah, it just presses on top. Done a bit of research when I took this apart the first time to see if it was normal. And it is. I think maybe some of the larger CC carbs over 500cc, I think, or intended for 500cc two-strokes. I think some of the carbs Lectron make have a spring plunger on here, on this top bit, but this one doesn't. You can see it's fixed there. But some do have a spring plunger, but I think the smaller, or some of the smaller carbs have fixed ones. So that is correct. It is how it's supposed to be anyway. Oh yeah, this is obviously used, this carb. I use this carb myself on my Husqvarna two-stroke. So yeah, I bought it brand new. This was £450, I think, when I bought it. And this was, I think, about £50. So we will see what the difference is. But I've got very good things to say about the Lectron carbs. They really changed the bike for me for the better. It worked well, and when it got sent to me, it was already tuned, so I stuck it on the bike and we were away. The best it ever ran, by far. Now, there's a power jet in there, which I think is removable. However, I also think it has a Imperial threaded Allen key, which I don't have to hand. And to be honest, I don't really want to remove it on the good carb anyway, so it can stay in there. But other than that, we are down to the basics. Now, you can't see it on the camera possibly, but this choke has what looks like 4 passageways, the choke hole. We've got one here on this blank, so I don't know why that's on there, but regardless, there's a passageway that goes to this blank. Okay, maybe 4, maybe 3. We've got a passageway that goes downwards here, which goes into the throat here. We've got a passageway that goes back that way, which probably goes to this pipe here, I'm guessing. And then we've got one going down to the float bowl, I assume, which is down into here. So there's that. Now I can see here, this also has the same
passageways, including the blank as well. So the copy is quite well copied. One down, one that way, one that way, one that way. That's the same. The choke plunger looks the same as well. Again, pretty similar. The power jet, needle. These do look to be slightly different. Well, they're the same length at least. Okay, so that part is slightly different. That's the equivalent of what we have here. Also, it has the same or a similar float bowl with the notches in there. However, it seems that that goes over the notches on the original. And in this one, these grooves actually sit into the notches. So there we go, that's a slight difference. Slightly different needle there. The copy carburetor has a shorter needle. It is still a solid needle. Still uses the gravity technique though, rather than having a catch on the needle itself, on the float needle I should say. Genuine slide does not go into the fake body. Will the fake go in the genuine? Probably. But why would you want to do that? That's silly. The copy carburetor comes with a spare needle, which again isn't marked, so you can't tell what these are, but I don't think that is of particular worry to me. It comes with a spare needle, a spare float bowl gasket, and the adjustment tool, which you do have to pay extra from Lectron as well. So it comes with this. It fits onto the needle. Well, it also fits onto the genuine Lectron needles as well. And for what it's worth, the genuine needles do fit into the copy slide. So there's adjustment there possibly if you need to. That's That's a different size too. Bloody hell. She's tight. A smaller hole in there, and it's not tapered. Other than that, seems about, well, seems similar. And there we go. There's the fake body. Side by side. Oh yeah, one last thing. This power jet has a flat head, so it's easy to remove. Looks a bit like a pilot jet off a carburetor, but it's not quite the same. Well, from what I know. It looks like it would be about the same in here though. That could be a cap, a retaining cap or something on there. Side by side. I would say they're a pretty good copy overall. Whether the performance will be the same, we will find out. But, as I say, casting-wise, they've done a very good job here. One final thing, I will take these apart and see what the difference is when you split them apart. I imagine they'll be exactly the same, and it's probably going to be a waste of time. But here we go. Am I missing something here? Ah, no? Is it two-piece or is it one piece? Oh no, it is two-piece. It's just held on together. So there we go. Yes, very similar inside. So there we go. I will reassemble and attach it to a motorcycle and test it out. It'll be the same bike for what this was on as well. So it'll be a direct comparison. Join me next time.